Hey guys, welcome back to Clarkey's NRL show, joined by a very special guest. We have Raiders back row and England international Elliot Whitehead on the phone. Ellie, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, very good. It's a pleasure to have you on. And first of all, I've got to say, Ellie, what a year for the Green Machine. You guys sit inside the top four. Has that surprised you at all, or did you and the playing group sort of know that this was coming?
Look, as a playing group, we've always had confidence and belief in us, in the squad we've got, and we're sitting where we are at the moment, but we've still got a lot of improvement to do, and hopefully we can do that over the next few rounds.
Absolutely. And the fact that, not just yourself, other players are always talking about improving, I think that really speaks a lot about what this side is and what they're capable of. What are some of the biggest changes you've noticed off the field within the playing group or the club culture, etc.? Is there anything that sort of stands out to you?
Look, I think the boys that have come in have really fitted in well, and especially John and Ryan. They've come from Wigan, where it's a bit, they've had the winning mentality, and they've brought that into our squad, and everyone's thriving off them at the moment. So hopefully they can keep bringing that, and we keep going as well as we are.
Absolutely. I believe Ryan and John won the Super League the year before. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, they won that. I think they've both won it twice now, so they know what it takes to win them tough games, and they've been quality for us this year so far. So hopefully, like I said, they keep doing what they're doing, and we keep backing them up as well.
Absolutely. And George Williams from Wigan has also signed for you guys. You've played with George at the international level, I believe. What do you think he'll bring to that squad in 2020?
Oh, look, he's a little superstar in himself. He's got a good little short kicking game, and he can control the game really well. He's going to be a big asset for us next year, but at the moment we're just concentrating on this year, and we've got Penrith this week, and we need that win there. They're going very well at the moment, so for now we're just focusing on that. We're not worried about George joining next year, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Penrith then. They're on a 7 or 8 game winning streak. They're looking incredible. Not that you guys aren't. You guys are performing at a very high standard also. I think it's going to be a super close game. Have you looked at the Panthers? Where do you see some of their strengths and weaknesses, and how do you think you guys get that job done?
Look, they've got quality all over the field, and you look at the halfbacks, they're both Origin players, and we're going to have to do a good job at the weekend. We're going to have to complete high and finish where we want to finish and stop their outside backs from getting them easy meters in yardage. So we'll concentrate on that, and hopefully, a kicking game from Jack and Caesar will be good, and we can keep them in the corners and they don't get too many meters on us.
Absolutely. And two men you brought up before, Ryan Sutton, John Bateman, obviously huge additions. For me, one of the other biggest additions is obviously Charles Nickel-Klogstad. He is spectacular at the back. He's my most improved player so far in 2019. What does he bring to the field, on the field at the back with his talk and also off it?
Look, Chance, I didn't know much about him before he signed, and he's been outstanding for this year. For me, he's probably been a signing of the year. What he brings to our squad is unbelievable. He puts his body on the line, and he's always there in support. He scored that many tries from his tough runs and stuff. So, like I said, he's brought so much to us, and hopefully he can keep doing that. And he's enjoying it. So, as long as he's enjoying it, it'll be sweet.
Absolutely. I brought it up earlier, Ellie. Top four. Does this current playing squad, do you guys have the belief around training that you can compete for the 2019 Premiership, or is it very much so a week-by-week process for this team?
Look, we have the belief, but like I said, it's week by week. You don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got a long way to go, and like I said, we're concentrating on Penrith this week, and hopefully we can get the win there, and then we'll go to New Zealand. But at the moment, we're all concentrating on Penrith, and it's going to be a tough ask to go to their ground. They're in good form, and they're playing some good rugby, so we're going to have to go there and try and stop them, and hopefully we can do that.
No doubt, very much like you said, a week-to-week process. But what I want to ask, Ellie, is when you stop and reflect on how far this playing group has come this year, what are some of the key things or the main things you have learnt as a football team? Because from the outside looking in, this is a team that competes for the full 80 minutes, whereas you couldn't necessarily say that so much about the 2018 side. There's been some big changes, but what's the biggest ones that you've noticed?
I think the defence, I think Andrew McFadden's done a really good job with us in defence. I think we've defended really well this year, which has kept a lot of teams not scoring many points against us. So I think that's been a big change in us. But I also believe that we've changed his mentality. I believe the last few years we've probably thrown the ball about a little bit too much, and made a few errors where this year we probably haven't done that, and we finished where we want to finish and stuck to what we know is working for us.
And I read in the preseason, Elliot, that Rickey Stewart had some pretty harsh defensive sessions. Has that crept back in at all throughout the season, or are you happy that stayed in the preseason?
No, look, we keep on top of that. We don't want to go away from that. We want to keep working hard and keep doing what's been working for us. So we've been working on that still, and at the moment it's working for us. So hopefully we'll keep working for us and we can keep the team limited to points.
Absolutely. Clubland, week by week, as you said, but it is all going very so well. If I can fast forward a little bit, Elliot, I want to talk a bit about international footy. Now, the World Nines was launched yesterday. Would you be interested in representing England in that tournament? And have you ever played any Nines football before in your career?
No, I've never played. But look, any time to represent England is always a pleasure. And if I get the call up to do that, then I'm willing to do that. Might be a little bit faster. Maybe there's a lot more players out there that are a bit faster and got a bit more agility than me. But like I said, I'm willing to do that, and we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, and just one more international question from me, Elliot. It's been announced that Great Britain will make its return to the international scene this year. They're going to tour New Zealand, I believe Fiji, and also Papua New Guinea. I have to imagine, given the fact you are a 2018 Golden Boot shortlist, that you will be selected in that side. And you've previously told me that it means everything to you playing for England. Do those feelings sort of change at all for Great Britain, or do you remain the same towards that?
No, it's exactly the same. Look, I think Great Britain, the last time they got together was 2006, so I've never had the opportunity to represent Great Britain. So hopefully I get the call up and I can do that, because it'd be a great honour for me myself. It's one of my goals I've set out for this year to represent them at the end of the year. So hopefully Wayne Bennett gives me the call and I get in the squad.
Absolutely. My 2 cents worth, Elliot. I think you'll 100% be there. Last question from me, if I could. Tell me, what is your message to all the Green Machine fans out there, all the Raiders fans? What's your message for them as the Raiders head into this last part of 2019?
Just keep believing and keep turning up in the numbers. It gets cold in Canberra at the moment, and they're turning up out in the numbers, and it means the world to us a lot, them showing their support. So hopefully they can keep doing that, and hopefully they can make them proud on the field.
I was there last week, Elliot. I can confirm it does get very cold in Canberra, but it was a great game from you guys. A great win over the Tigers. As you said, the Panthers this week. Go and get 'em, man. And thank you so much for coming on Clarkey's NRL show.
No worries, mate. Thank you for having me.